So, in case for those people who are watching, this is not our usual garb. Well, it could be. This is how, when I used to teach spin for the holidays, I would always dress up, and it was always so fun, and the whole class would dress up with me. And when sometimes I get really hot when you spin, and I had like these head or hats on, and I would like get out of class. Or one time I dressed up as Jack Skellington. Actually, several times I put all this dark eye makeup around, and then the whatever. And then I came out of class and I was just floating off with black makeup. It was so funny, but it was super fun. So
Love.
we're going to answer some questions probably towards the end. I'll try to say hi. Let me see. I'll try to say hi to you when. Let me just delete this old one that says was live. That way you guys can find me
Okay.
here.
All right.
Let me go delete this one real quick. There we go. All right, now they should be able to find the right one.
Okay.
Did I delete the wrong one? I guess we'll find out. There we are. Okay, so I am Helen, in case you don't know, and this is Allie. Allie, I'm going to let her introduce herself, but Allie is a physical therapist, and not only that, but she has a lot of really great ideas on things that you can do every day to, the small steps to make a big difference. And I think the little tiny, I should say, I know that the little tiny steps that we make all day and things we don't even think about that we could do, they make a gigantic difference. And Allie's going to help us come up with some ideas. And also she's going to tell us some of the more compelling reasons as to why you want to do that. Because you think like, okay, it's no big deal, I could do it or not. But really there are many, many reasons for health for now and the future too. So I'm going to let Allie have the floor.
Absolutely. Thank you, Helen. And thank you for inspiring our superhero outfit. So I guess the motto as well is sort of be your own hero. So, you have the skills and the tools to, get your health looking good, and small changes is all we need to do or start with to try and get some big results. So, yes, I'm a physiotherapist. I'm in Canberra, and my area is, I guess, people working from home and ergonomics, but also I'm really interested in longevity and people's health during the day. And there's been a lot of research about us and prolonged sitting. So I don't know. I mean, Americans and Australians obviously sit for a long period of time. I think it's about 8 to 10 hours in Australia. So it's too long, isn't it? I mean, I know as busy mums, I'm probably not sitting for that long, but there are a lot of people that have office jobs and they're sitting for this prolonged period of time. So there is so much we can do to break up that sitting time. So yes, I'd love to do. Should we just launch into that,
Yeah,
or
let's just jump right in
yeah,
because people
yeah,
can watch on the replay and then they can,
yeah,
get these good tips because it's really amazing when you think about how much we sit. It's crazy. It's absolutely
yeah,
crazy. And when I just to digress a little bit, when I was first starting to do a little bit here and there and try to take care of my health and make these small steps, and then I started to lose weight, and like someone told me, oh, you're so lucky you have time to exercise. Now this is someone who didn't have
yeah,
little kids, right? I had 2 kids. I was running a business. I didn't have big chunks of time, but I started sneaking in,
yeah.
and I also watched zero amount of TV a night, so that
Yes,
that made a big difference.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, the research is coming out now showing that it's actually the prolonged period of time that you're sitting. So the ideal day is sort of 5 hours of sitting with 2 hours of standing. But I guess it's the accumulation of the standing over time. So breaking up sitting with a little bit of standing. So as you can see, we're both standing for this talk, aren't
Woo!
we? So
Yep.
yeah.
That's why I keep
So
doing
I've just
this.
I know I'm doing this as well. So I've got an iPhone or an tablet holder just on a little shelf near my kitchen, and I am definitely I'm fighting diabetes right now. We're fighting any musculoskeletal disorders and tightness that is associated with those flexed postures when you're sitting. We're fighting obesity. We're fighting some cancers. So
Yeah.
absolutely, the prolonged sitting is linked with all of these morbidities that we don't want to be dealing with because we're all getting diabetes quite early now. Have you
Yes.
noticed?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And it's
isn't
not
that
just related to food, is it?
and that's the new information that pretty much came out is what you're
Mm.
that
It's more the looking at how long you're sitting in one sitting. So if you're sitting doing a really important job for, say, 2 or 3 hours and you don't get up and move, then that's much worse than you sitting for 3 hours over the day, breaking it up with standing and walking. So definitely, I try and stand during meetings, or
Yes.
like if I know, like so it's really about planning your day. If you know that you've got a 1 hour Zoom meeting, how about you try and stand? So I've seen people use wine racks and
Yeah.
putting their tablet on there. I mean, if you don't have to type or write notes, it's
Yeah.
ideal. Or kitchen counters, they're quite tall, or bookshelves. And just, yeah, I guess it's planning your day. So I hear a lot of people also don't leave their desk for lunch. They have their
Yes.
lunch at their desk. So getting outside, getting the vitamin D, walking around the house if you're
Yes.
housebound, take the dog out. I'm sure they'd love a walk. Like, you're always about incidental walking, and definitely
Yep.
doing those stairs when you see them. Yeah. As soon as I see
Yes.
stairs, I think of you, Helen. Yeah.
I used to
Um,
take the stairs when I went to the doctor's office, but then like I would they by the time they would take my blood pressure, my pulse it was like high because I went up. I'm like, okay, that's okay to take the elevator at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. That white coat syndrome. Yeah, so definitely, I'm because I'm working from home and I'm a mum of two. I'm always up. I'm doing the washing. I use the washing as an excuse to get up and move my body, or a quick vacuum, or a quick do the dishes. I sort of break up my tasks during the day, so I don't do one big clean. It's all during the day in my breaks.
Yeah.
And another tip was, have a small glass of water
Yes.
instead of your big 2 liter jug, because I see a lot of people saying, I've got my 2 liter jug there, I'm going to drink that, and they think they're doing a great job, which they are. Definitely need to be hydrated. But if you fill this cup up 8 times, then you're getting your sit to stands, your
Yes.
transfers, so you're strengthening those muscles, and also you're going to increase, toilet trips, you're fighting diabetes, and your mind is a bit clearer. Think of all that lovely oxygenated blood going in and out of the muscles when you're
Yes.
standing and moving, because when you're sitting, you're burning the same amount of energy as if you were sleeping, which is ridiculous. I mean, yeah, it's just nothing. So yeah, so this is my favorite tip: 8 glasses and I have my favorite flamingo cup, and away you go. Do you
Well,
have any tips like that, Helen?
that was
Or
the best
sorry.
tip because normally I tell people to do this, but actually after we talked yesterday, they could fill this
Yeah.
up, put it in the fridge, and then get
Yes.
up and pour it into their cup.
Ah, perfect. And
Because
then you know
I
how much you're having.
or even bigger one
Ah,
than this
great.
because
Great.
I have a habit when I'm working on a project to if I'll sit there for like 4 hours because I settle
Yeah.
in, I get comfortable, I put my feet up, and because I have a hard
Yeah,
time
yeah.
focusing, I have to like
Yes.
get myself focused, and
Yes.
so I just I get distracted, but I really need to get up because I can sit there for 4 hours easily,
Yes.
and that's
Absolutely.
just so bad.
Yeah, and really bad on your posture and your muscles, because they like
Right?
to move. They want to get that oxygen in. So even if you just stand up and stretch back
Yeah.
and then sit back down, like it's easy to do little incidental standing and moving. There was another one. So having when you have your cups of tea and coffee, which I have quite a few regularly, I'll stand and drink my tea,
Oh,
and that will be my,
yeah.
yeah, like, I'm pretty quick. I might take 3 or 4 minutes,
Yeah.
and then you can finish it when you're sitting back down. But and I look away, look at an object like a long distance away, because if you're always looking at the screen, your eye muscles get a little bit tight and tense, and then you can get these headaches. So
Yes.
looking at a long distance object is really important. Just connecting, looking at something green. I just did a post today on my Instagram. Look at something green. That's really important when you're surrounded by all these devices and that bright blue light.
The blue light. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, absolutely. So stretches though, Helen, I really wanted to show you a couple
Yes.
if you're keen. Yeah.
Yes.
So we always hold our stress in our upper traps. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're cold or worried, you end up like this, don't you?
Yeah.
So you're flexed over, flexed forward. So even just a simple shoulder roll, getting your shoulder blades back and down,
Okay.
it just
Yeah.
feels lovely. I don't know if you can feel that, but
Yeah.
I already feel relaxed. I feel like this is the posture I need to be in. I might take my mask off because
Yeah.
I'm
Take
getting
your
hot.
mask off. Here, I'll leave my hair on. There.
Your hair is gorgeous.
I don't know if I look good
So
in purple, but
you
yeah.
do. It really suits you. I'm thinking of going pink actually, like Kate did.
Okay.
With
Yes.
some pink. Yeah. Do you think?
That'd be so cool. I
Be
like it.
good. All right. So shoulder rolls, and then my other favorite is just doing this
Oh
one.
yeah.
So bringing your ear to your shoulder
I
and
love
just
that.
gently pulling. Yeah. And there's another stretch that you can do, that's a different muscle. So once you've done that one, so any stretch is about 20 seconds. And then I want you to sort of look down at the ground, or some people say smell your underarm.
Oh
It's sort
no.
of, you're heading over there.
Not, not during the
No,
pandemic when I
no,
don't shower every
no,
day.
no.
Ew. Ew, no.
I love it. But can you feel the difference? That's a different stretch there as opposed to
Yes.
that one. That's your upper traps, and this is your
Oh,
one that
yeah.
connects to your shoulder blade.
This is the tight one.
Yeah, so you'll feel one, and one side might be tighter than the other even.
Yes. And then if you have a lightweight, you could hold it in the other hand, right?
Oh
And cut
yeah,
a little
absolutely.
one. Let me see who. So
Yeah.
Arichelle says hi.
Hi,
Ela says
Arichelle.
hi.
Hi,
Hey,
Ela.
ladies. I need a little bit more volume. Okay, thank you. Let me come
Oh,
closer.
all right.
There.
Oh yeah, that's
I
it.
like
That's
it when
because you're
people can't
stretching.
hear me.
We
Like
can see you though,
my
Helen.
my ex mother in law was so awesome. She would always like torture her sons, and she would go, "You sound better still," and I'm like, "I sound better still." Let me try to bring my volume up, and you can yeah, show us some more stretches while I just try to bring my volume up.
Yeah,
Oh,
cool.
here, look, they're
All right.
showing up over here.
Oh, good.
Yay!
We've got some fans.
Yay! That's so
Helen, this is
fun. Oh
my
yes,
favorite. Let me just,
yes,
yeah, my chin tuck. So some people don't know why you're doing this. So let me explain it. It's not really a stretch, it's an exercise, but it strengthens the tiny little muscles that connect your skull to the base of the skull to your cervical spine, your vertebrae here. And so if you've got nice, strong little muscles there, then you're going to avoid this
yeah,
forward head posture or tech neck. So, and it also just realigns you. So instead of being a turtle, try and, yeah, or it's a pigeon sort of action, and you're
yeah.
just sort of going horizontal. And that, yeah, sorry if that you've got my
There.
profile there, but
No, you're good. Good
yeah,
profile.
and
I'm like, ooh,
oh yeah, no, and I do these, I do stretches wherever. So in the car, using the headrest. So a lot of people, when they're driving, end up forward like this. If you can't feel the headrest with your head, then that's a really great reminder.
yeah.
Or if you wanted to do some stretches against the wall, that's also a really, really great reminder because you're straight. Then you can't argue with that. If you're not touching the wall, you're not straight.
Yes.
So yeah,
That's
so
a great idea.
yeah, you like that one? Yeah, or even on the ground, like you can do your butterflies, which helps with your shoulder blades, and yeah, just sliding along the ground, just like when you're in the snow, you do those butterflies. That's a
Yeah.
great exercise for your arms and your posture. Um, but definitely the chin tucks, anything that's going to make so avoid this flexion. So bringing your chin in and then looking up, doing a little bit of extension. And if you hear clicking, that just means that there's some stiffness and tightness. So work on that.
I'm all about the click. Let me move the microphone closer.
Yeah. Do you click a lot?
Yes. Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah.
I was too low before. Let me know if you're listening that I can that you guys can hear me. Okay. All right, there. So, back again.
Okay.
Okay, so one thing I did somebody interviewed me a long time ago for their podcast, and one of the things that I told them is like, during meetings or when I'm watching back then we call them webinar. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Someone just said that there's a ton of outages right now with Verizon and stuff, so maybe that's why. Anyway, so what I
Ah,
would do actually is I would like exercise. So one time I was doing this, like Twitter has these like where they have a thread and then they have these discussions about it. So while I'm watching these threads go by, I was doing kettlebells, and I told them it was
love
about a
it.
fitness kettlebell, and then was about like fitness and stuff. And I said I'm doing kettlebells
Mm,
right now. And there goes, it's awesome, because
yeah.
you can do stretches, you can do abs. Like I don't do abs usually like with my regular workout. I just put them in throughout the day. I do some
Mm,
stretches
yeah.
and then do abs. You can do planks and crunches and everything like that. And
Oh,
then I have the gliding discs, and you can do
yeah.
gliding things on there. So you get some mobility, but then you also get to do
Great.
your abs and you get your heart rate up. Because one thing too, like you said, when you were sitting all the time and when your what calorie expenditure is the same as
Mm,
sleeping, right?
yeah. Yep.
So if you bump up your heart rate a little bit throughout the day, you're going to
Mm,
bump up your metabolism a little bit. And that's what
yes,
people don't realize.
absolutely.
Like you can spend an hour at the gym, or you can do, 4 15-minute bouts of
Yeah.
exercise like throughout the day like that. And then you can get up from your desk every hour. I mean, that's a lot more calories burned than just going to the gym.
Yeah, absolutely. And those that sit for 8 to 10 hours a day and then do a half an hour at the gym, they are still high risk. So it doesn't
Yes.
matter. You say, oh, I've done my gym, but no, you're right. Spreading it out through the day it's proven that it's the prolonged exposure in one bout is definitely worse for you. So absolutely, and because we're working from home, like, I've got the kitchen here. I can use the kitchen bench to do push-ups. I
Yes.
can, get my yoga mat out. I've got my foam roller. I do my mobility.
Yeah.
I run around the house, with the kids
Yes.
and play tag. Like, it's so easy
I play with
to
the
get.
cat.
Whereas
She
if
has
you're,
her toy, the
yes,
cat toy, and I run
yeah.
around and I get a really good workout.
Yes, absolutely. And when you're at the office, we've got the privilege really of working from home. And if you're at the office sitting there, you can't get your yoga mat out and start doing some stretches. I've had people that want to do that with, back injuries, but so we've got, this is a great, event for us. This is
Yes.
amazing times that we can just look after our health, take that dog for the walk, get the
Yes.
kids outside on the bikes. Like, we're so lucky in Canberra. We have great bike tracks. So I'm always out with the kids just in the fresh air. It's autumn here. The leaves are falling. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you
great,
can even
great.
do that at work because a lot when people go back to the office because
Yes.
everybody needs to move. And if you got coworkers together for break or talk
Yeah.
to your boss, can we do a walking meeting if it's just something we have to
Yes.
talk about? I mean, get everybody else involved because we have to help each other, like it takes a village.
Yeah.
The village has to encourage each other
Yeah,
because we
definitely. I
just
love, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
one
yeah.
thing is when I was working in the corporate world, in the olden days, there was like one printer on the entire floor, so I would have to walk to the printer. But now
Yes.
we all have
Yes.
printers, and we email our colleagues
Yes.
that are 4 desks down. But we should just be getting up, going and talking to them, going to
Yeah.
using a printer further away. We
Yep.
have to, and we have
Absolutely.
to keep encouraging each other to work out because everything that we do, like so I was getting vitamin B12 shots, and it was at a weight loss clinic, right? So I walk in, I'm waiting my
Hmm.
turn for the B12 shots, and everybody's sitting down, and there's all these chairs, and I'm thinking if this was my clinic, I would
Yeah.
only have a few chairs. I would encourage people to stand because we're all
Yeah.
going to take the easy way out. We're all going to take the chair, but
Yeah.
because that's what we're used to. So in the
Yep.
beginning, it takes a little bit of effort to remind yourself, and then
It
once you
does.
get the hang of it, it's amazing how the
Yeah.
difference is that you can make.
That's right. And once it's habit, like, I often tell people, if you are driving or catching the bus to work, get off a station
Yes.
early and walk that little bit. Yeah, exactly. If you've got don't have the bin underneath your desk, get up and put your paper in,
Yes.
or, the recycle bin down the hallway. Exactly what you're talking about, the printer. It's
Yes.
all so accessible. Get up and walk to your colleague instead of emailing them and say, hi, here I am. Like, there's so many different, and it really has to come from you. Like,
Yes.
just, yeah, just the habits, those little habits, and just thinking, like, I mean, those watches that, have you got one, Helen, that sort of tells how much movement you do during the day?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you look at that and say, oh, yep, I've got to complete that circle, or get a few
Well,
more
mine
steps
doesn't
in,
have a
or,
circle, but sometimes if I'm at like 90, 800 steps, I'm in my bedroom at night in
yeah.
my pajamas, I'm
Yes.
walking. But
Yeah.
now because because I hurt my foot, like I'm getting
Yeah.
like, 1,000 steps a day. But I should get more points because I'm hobbling and it takes more
Yes.
calories, more effort to
You,
hobble
you
along.
poor thing.
It's okay.
Absolutely. But those watches are great because you're getting that feedback. Because if you sort of go, oh, I guess I've done my steps today, then you just won't. But like you said, I see people, at 9 o'clock at night just doing a few more steps. And,
Yes.
any feedback is great, because if you're measuring something, then you're going to want to work towards it, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. But
And I
definitely,
wanted to
yeah,
ask
those,
those of you who are
hmm,
watching and on the replay, real quick before I forget, if you
yeah,
think of one thing that you guys could do, just like one thing, and if you want to put it in the comments, or something that you're already doing, because
yeah,
again, it's a whole village concept. If you have a tip that you can share, just put it in the comments, because the more that we can help each other, the better everybody will be. And the most important thing is that you have to remember to do it. And I know it's hard.
yeah,
Like with the hours people watch TV, there's no like my dad. My dad was so funny. He was amazing, but he would get up every commercial break and go do the dishes. So he
ah,
wouldn't clean up after dinner. But think about it, if you got up every commercial break, unless you're just watching Netflix, are you still watching?
hmm,
Yes, I'm still
yeah,
prone 12 hours later.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
But
Netflix is terrible. Yeah.
I know, but we have to
For
set the
binging.
timer.
Yeah.
But if you
Yes.
got up every commercial, or if you can do squats on the sofa, you sit down and stand up and sit down, and it's actually good
Yes.
for your knees, and it's great for beginners too. But think about your
Yeah.
heart rate could come up, and what you could do on commercial breaks.
Yeah. So true. I didn't even think about that. Because another thing is putting a reminder on your Outlook
Yes.
calendar or your email calendar. So every 45 minutes, if you need just a bing, meeting with yourself, or a
Yes.
stretch or a move or a water or anything, and it will get annoying, but you'll realize, how fixated you were in your work. And when you're fixated, you end up hunched over, and when you're
Yes.
in pain, that low level pain, you're not motivated to do anything, are you? Like, I
No.
know when I get a bit of back strain, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to go for a walk. But
Right.
people tell you you still have to keep moving with back pain and strains. The worst thing you can do is go and lie down in your bed. That's what they used to tell us. Bed rest, off you go. And now it's no, keep moving, keep all those joints and ligaments and everything loose, and apply a bit of heat. Just be as normal. So
Yes.
definitely, yeah, definitely movement. I mean, your body's a movement machine. We're made to move. Like, we're not
Exactly.
really meant to sit hunched over a keyboard or a laptop. I'm seeing so all these poor postures over laptops. I wish that when they sold a laptop, they'd sell you a laptop stand and external keyboard and mouse with it. Like, that would be,
Yes.
because just people don't know. They think they're on their laptop doing great work, but yeah, their
We
necks,
should do. Someone made a. I want to see who said their daughter dances. Let me just look on that real quick. Um,
yeah,
I can't even see it. Wait, who said that? I was trying to wait. I wanted to see who said these comments because I can't see who it is yet, but I'll look at it
yeah,
later. But
yeah,
that's the thing, is that we just have to find those pockets to keep moving, because you don't realize when you have a low level pain or you have discomfort, you don't want to exercise. And all you
yeah,
want, and that's part of what we're talking about today, is that motivation, to do things comes from inside, it comes from in you. But if you're not feeling 100%, but you don't really understand it, or maybe you always feel like
mm,
your back hurts, a little bit of ache, but you
mm,
don't want to do anything, and that really
yeah,
brings you down, and then bringing you down makes you not want to exercise or do anything. So if you can
yeah,
try, like you talked about, the stretches, the foam rolling is so
mm,
important. And I'm
yeah,
also going
yeah.
to link, in this afterwards, I'm going to link to your website and stuff, because you do postural assessments for,
Yes, I
at
do.
ergonomics.
Yeah, yeah, so important because I'm what have we been, a year? A year we've all been working from home and on our laptops, and I'm seeing it now. Like, yeah, I know everyone's coming out of the woodwork. Oh, I'm getting pain. No one knows how to work from home safely. So that's where my little side hustle came about. And yeah, I'm definitely getting lots of comments, and I'm in pain. How do I get rid of this knot in my shoulder? And people don't realize that you can have a knot in your shoulder that can be related to the height of your dining table that you're working on. Like, they're not making that connection. But if your shoulder is out and you're using muscles that shouldn't be used, then definitely, posture affects everything. It
Right.
affects your breathing. It affects your digestion. Yeah, your whole body. So, and I see people in pain, and it's not fun. You're taking medication all the time.
Exactly.
You're more irritable. You might be start yelling at your partner, or not yelling, but raising your voice a little bit more, because you've just got this niggling pain that's not going away, and
Yeah.
it's irritating. So yeah, so your whole life is affected. You might not be able
Yes.
to drive to work, or you can't do the groceries, and you're annoyed. So
Yeah.
definitely little changes. Keeping it's more about, like, prevention. And
Yes.
I find that people will be more alert when they have the injury.
Right.
However, I'm about trying to prevent the injury. I don't want you to get to that stage, because
Exactly.
that's a downhill spiral. So I really want people to think about preventing that pain, preventing that injury, because that's much better.
Yeah. Because once you
Yeah.
get injured, it's so hard to come back from that. So it's
Yeah.
better when you can avoid that. And so I wanted to do also a quick recap of, what we talked about. We're not ending it yet, but we went off and went back again. So I
Yes.
want to talk about, so
Sure.
we talked about getting up and moving frequently from your desk when you're watching TV. And
Yes.
some other tips that I have actually is, like, when you're cooking, there's no reason why you can't march in place. Like, you're getting the water boiling
Yes.
when you're
Yes.
making your coffee. And what I really like is, like, the higher kitchen counters, because you can do
Yes.
push-ups. You can do push-ups and planks against the higher counter. So it's not as
Yes.
hard on your body either. It's just enough. And you can do stretching,
Mm,
put your elbows and kind of stretch. There's a lot you can do and keep moving. And
yeah.
if you have Instant Pot and you're waiting for something or you're waiting
Yeah.
for something else to cook or preheating the oven, you could, if you just kept walking in place, I do that. Sometimes I'll dance in
Yes.
the kitchen, you
Yes,
know?
absolutely. Well, I dance with the kids. I have a Bluetooth speaker, and I
Yeah.
put on their favorite, top 5 favorite songs.
Yes.
And we dance around while I've got the wooden spoon stirring the spag bowl, and we're dancing. Like it's fun,
It's
you're happy while you're doing it. So you're
exactly.
getting the endorphins moving.
So
So it's
that's when you,
definitely,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And get up from your
it,
desk, periodically play with
yeah,
your kids. There's also a timer on the web. I think it's called Egg Timer, and you can set that for how
okay,
long as you want, and then it gives you an alert also. So there's a lot of
great.
things that you can do to just keep
Mm,
moving, and then you burn more calories, increases your mood, it stretches
yeah,
everything out.
yeah,
So that's what I want to
definitely.
remind
Yeah,
people, like this is for our health. I mean, we always
yeah,
think that, oh, we'll worry about it tomorrow. Yeah, you know what? Maybe
yeah,
you're 25 or 35 or 45. You have plenty of time, but one day you wake up and you're
yeah,
55 with a hurt foot, like me. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like it
yes,
happens like that, and then suddenly you're out of time. Not out of time, but you're running. It's out of time to fix your health.
mm,
So you need to,
yeah,
start very small with little steps, and then make a concerted effort every day to do
yeah.
little things.
Absolutely, because we want to age well, don't we? So
Yes.
if we put in the time now, it's all about longevity. You don't want to be an old, 70-year-old. You want to be fit and healthy
Oh
because
yeah.
you need that muscle strength and that bone mass when you're 70 in case you have a fall or something happens. So doing the hard yards now, but making it fun,
Yeah.
definitely helps. But Helen, I love your saying, time's going to pass by anyway, so you may as well look after your health. I
Yes.
love that. So don't start the diet on Monday or the first of the
No.
month. Just start it now, or not the diet, but just start
The
making
healthy
little
lifestyle.
changes.
But even if it is
Yeah,
more, because some people need more structure, so you can, if
yep,
you want to do a little more of a diet, but just don't wait, because we wait and we wait, and that's what happened to me. Is I waited, till another Monday, another
yeah,
January, and I kept gaining weight. And I was like,
yeah,
okay, well, I can't do this because I have the kids. I can't. I tried to go to the gym once after my son was born, and it was so hard to get him there. Then I got there, and their childcare was full, and I couldn't work out. So I got back in the
yeah,
car, went to a drive-through, ate a lot of
yeah,
crap because I was depressed
yeah,
that I couldn't get to the
yep,
gym. But it was when I finally started to just that one morning when I said, I'm going to walk the kids to school, and then I
yeah,
just slowly built on that. And that was just amazing how
yeah.
just the little tiny steps. And it didn't just change my body, it changed my mind, it changed my
Mind.
everything about me. And now,
Yeah,
like when I hobbled out to the car, when my daughter pulled up and I hobbled out to the car, I've got a little walking cane. She pulls up, I have a big smile on my face, and I helped her get the load out of the car, and I'm walking around. I go, "This is so ridiculous." I was like laughing at it though. But in the
yeah,
olden days, I would have been upset, negative, everything is bad.
yeah,
But just
yeah,
making those changes really helped change my whole attitude about life, and,
yeah.
and every day.
Absolutely. Yeah, and even Helen, with the pandemic,
Yes.
when we weren't allowed to leave our houses, I completely shifted my attitude about exercise, and
Yeah.
we were allowed to leave our house to exercise. Like, how awesome is that? We're allowed to exercise. And I absolutely went, 3 times a day or however many times I could, and
Yes.
that's changed me from now on. I'm allowed
Yes.
to go. Brilliant. Not I have to go do that bike
Yes.
ride. It's yeah, and just if you're not a gym junkie, don't go to the gym.
No.
If it's more about running around the house and doing some squats with your kids
Right.
or the dog, like just do that. Like people think that you've got to have the right gym gear, you've got to get the gym membership, and there's no time. But I mean, if you look at your screen time, mine's a couple of hours a day. I reckon
Yeah.
I could substitute that with some exercise, surely.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
bands and, stretching, and there
Yes.
is so much.
Yeah.
But, and I just think that's so important we don't think about it. So it's good when we can remind each other. And even if you have a buddy system, text somebody,
Yeah.
text one of your friends, and you guys agree you're going to, go for a walk separately, even like, for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
keep each other accountable, because you're helping
Accountable.
them. You're helping your kids by playing with them. You're helping your pets by exercise. You're helping your spouse
Yeah.
by going for a walk. It's like, marriage
Yes.
therapy.
Yes, absolutely. I always say that. And also, Helen, one thing that I do is I go and I used to listen to your podcast. So
Yeah.
I would ride my bike and, help my mental
Yes.
status by listening to your pod. And I'd come back so refreshed and happy that I made time. I said, no, I need
Yes.
half an hour for mental health and for my exercise. And, and then I listen to other podcasts, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful. And keep making those podcasts because they're
Oh,
so
thank
great.
you.
Yeah, but I think you just got to incorporate it into the way you want to into your day.
Yeah.
if running's not your thing, which it definitely isn't for me, it's a bike ride for me. So I went out and bought myself a new bike, like, and I was so excited to do that.
Yes.
And so now it's like a privilege. I get to go on my new bike, and yeah, so you just have to work it for you. Everyone's different.
Yeah. And some
Which,
people
yeah, is
love
what we're
going to the
saying.
gym, and so
Yes.
they should just be, but they still, like you said, if you sit 10 hours a day and you go to the
Yeah.
gym for general health, it's not enough. You got to
No.
move throughout the whole day in little, even
Yeah.
10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yes. I love your hair.
Oh, thank you. It's just fake hair. And I put this, like, what do you call that thing? I put this on there.
Yeah.
And
Headband or
I didn't
no?
know how to, yeah, no, it's like this thing,
Yeah.
right? And it's like,
Ah.
it's a wig. Hang on. No, I've never used a wig before like that. It's a wig, what do you call it? The thing that you put to hold
Yeah,
your
the
hair.
hairnet
Yeah.
thing. Yes.
A
Yeah.
wig
Yeah.
hairnet,
Yeah.
yes. But I do
Yay.
like, but
Yeah.
now I know that purple is not my color. I think it should be darker.
Okay. Go black, like Black Widow or
Dark
something.
purple. Dark purple.
Oh, dark purple. Yep. Cool.
Well, I will be back tomorrow, you
Awesome.
guys. I'm going to post, I'm going to try to put this all together in one video and then repost it so everybody can see it.
Cool.
So they don't have to keep looking for that. Like this, we had to reconnect like 4 times. And then
Yep.
I'm also going to give you Allie's information because she does also assessments, ergonomic and postural assessments for your workspace that you can just email her, right? And you can,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
have to do, so she can look and give you immediate tips of how you can correct those
Yes.
imperfections,
Yes.
no, in
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
imbalances or
Yes.
incorrect ergonomics.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to go through the chat with me if you don't want to. But everyone works differently and has, different bits of furniture lying around and different heights of dining tables. So it's really
Yes.
tailored to you. So yeah, I find that, we're not at work anymore with everyone's got
Yes.
the same desk and the same chair. It's more I'm on the dining chair at the dining table. So what can we do about that? So yeah,
Yes.
it's fun. It's good actually.
And for short
Yeah.
people, the footrest is key.
Yes, yes. Have you got yours going? You're not
Uh,
short though, Helen, are you?
I'm 5 feet. I'm very short. I'm a
Oh, are
152
you?
centimeters. Yeah.
Oh wow, you are. I'm 176. Oh wow. Yes, you are on the shorter side,
But
but
here's a
beautiful.
funny story about footrest. I don't know if I should say it or not, but anyway, so my ex-husband's Catholic, and he would drag me to mass sometimes, right? So the first day I
Yeah.
went with him to this Catholic church mass, I go, "Oh my God, there's footrests," and he goes,
Yes.
Those aren't footrests," and I'm
Yeah.
like,
The
"They're for
benches.
kneeling." I'm like, "But they're footrest." I was so excited. I'm like, "Oh my God, they're footrests."
Ah, I love it. So you got lots of little steps around your kitchen to reach up high into cupboards and things,
No, I do
or
the really bad thing is I climb up on the counter.
okay.
I do the short girl thing. And even the other day, I
Ah,
was at the store doing the short girl thing, and the coffee was on the top, but it was pushed back. And I look to make sure there's no
yeah,
employees. And I step up
yeah.
on the bottom shelf, and I'm like reaching, and I'm
Oh,
like trying to get up there and
Bay.
say bye.
Thanks for, thanks for
I just
having me,
let things
Helen.
come out. You're welcome. Thank you so much. And I'm
I
going to link
know.
you there, and maybe you can pop on again another day.